name is Shane Moss, and this is the story of the first time that I smoked DMT. So this was several years ago. I was in Dallas, Texas. I was doing shows. A comic came up to me afterwards, and he was like, "Hey, have you ever smoked DMT before?" I was like, "No, never heard of it." And he's like, "Well, you'd like it. You're a trippy dude." So he takes me to this guy's house. The guy's like, "Have you ever done mushrooms before?" And I was like, "Oh yeah, tons of mushrooms." He's like, "Okay, well, nothing like mushrooms." Okay. What was that question all about then? Just some odd census that you do? And he's right. Mushrooms and DMT are nothing alike. Mushrooms might make like cars seem shinier than normal, or plants move about in a way that you haven't noticed before. That is not the DMT experience in any way. DMT is like, hey, you know all of this reality and perception that you are super familiar with and very convinced is real? Well, sorry about this. Zip. Tent of lies collapses, something else entirely going on. It is a real red pill, blue pill, matrixy kind of moment. And he goes, take this bong, and you want to have 3 of the biggest hits you can possibly take out of this bong. I was like, no problem. I used to have a 6-foot bong when I was 17 years old, which I felt pretty dumb about until now. I realized I have been training for this moment for a very long time. And he's like, well, just so you know, it comes on very fast and it's very intense. You're gonna have the first hit, you're probably gonna feel weird. Then you'll have the second hit. That's when it's too much for most people. Most people think they had too much, something's gone wrong, they want to stop. Whatever you do, don't stop. You have to keep going. You have to get that third hit. You'll break through to this other space. And I was like, whatever with the build-up, dude. And I took that bong, I took the first hit off that bong, and right away I was like, oh, I'm turning into a cartoon. Have I always been a cartoon, or am I just now turning into a cartoon? Well, I guess I'll just be a cartoon, smoking a bong. And I took the second hit, and then all of this, the entire universe just started shaking violently and collapsing. I was like, oh no, I just did all the drugs. Guess I'm going to die now. And he saw the panic on my face, and he's like, one more. I was like, well, nothing to lose at this point. And I started filling up this bong for the third hit, and it was nice and milky white. I took a breath before clearing it, and then this sense of peace just washed over me. And then everything I've ever known just goes ba-dum-bum, ba-dum-bum, gone. And then it was just me in this bong in space, not like planets or stars or anything, just a black infinite void. Brought the bong with me. And the smoke inside the bong turned into electricity, and that electricity turned into codes. I was like, this is gonna be weird. And then I smoked all those codes up, and then I just shot through a tunnel of fractals and lights and strange colors, and I landed in this hologram computer chip city made out of codes that looked very familiar for some reason, like I had been there many times before. And it was made out of these lights that were communicating with me in this way that I could understand perfectly, like thoughts without words, clearer than I've ever understood anything. And right away it was just like, welcome! So happy to see you! And I was like, oh, damn. Well, you really did it this time, Shane. You broke your brain. Now what are you gonna do? You live here now. And it just goes, hey, calm down, focus, pay attention. And it just started building these buildings. They were coming together like clockwork. And it was like, this is how I talk. It's all very difficult to explain. Now, do you understand? I was like, I guess so. And it's like, now, do you really want to see something? Like, it's going to show me the meaning of life or something. And I was like, all right. And it's like, look over here. And I looked over, and there was just this weird, out-of-place cartoon cat just laughing at me. I looked back like, what? He's like, I'm just fucking with you. And that was it. That was the end of my trip. I was 100% back to normal, as clear-headed as I've ever been in my entire life, going, what the hell was that?